5 years after Andy Bell was murdered and her boyfriend Sal Singh was blamed, high schooler Fitz Amobi reopens the case for a school project. She quickly realizes the story doesn't add up. Sal's confession seems off, witnesses contradict each other, and Andy had secrets nobody knew about. As Pip digs deeper with Sal's brother Ravi, she uncovers lies, hidden relationships, and a dangerous truth. If Sal didn't kill Andy, the real killer is still out there. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm recapping A Good Girl's Guide to Murder Season 1. Season 2 is coming May 27th, so if you need a little recap, this is for you. So grab a snack, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. Episode 1. The series opens with the night Andy Bell disappeared, showing her injured and walking along the road before cutting to the present, 5 years after her death was officially ruled by a murder-suicide committed by her boyfriend, Sal Singh. In the present day, Pip decides to revisit the case for her school project, driven by her long-held belief that Sal was innocent. As Pip begins her investigation, she revisits her last memory of Andy, recalling that on the day she vanished, Andy silently asked her not to tell anybody where she was, but Pip told Sal anyways. This moment establishes Pip's lingering guilt and personal connection to the case. Determined to find the truth, she reaches out to Ravi Singh, Sal's younger brother, who initially refuses to help, but eventually opens up after Pip explains why she believes Sal couldn't have done it. She first questions her friend Kara's older sister Naomi, who was friends with Sal, despite Kara's warning not to. Naomi says that her, Max, Jake, and Sal were playing Mario Kart at Max's that night, and Sal left at 10:30 p.m. saying he was tired. Pip says he didn't get home until 12:30, suggesting he was smart and would have come up with an alibi. Naomi becomes emotional, saying that he did have an alibi, but her dad interrupts. Kara later finds out about this and gets upset, making Pip promise to leave Naomi out of her investigation. Pip then gets a job as a waitress at Max Hastings' house so she can interview him next. He says that him and Jake were playing FIFA when Sal left and Naomi went MIA. When Pip questions who his alibi was, Max admits that Sal asked them to lie and say he was there with them, but they went back on it afterwards, realizing that they shouldn't lie to the police. In the end, Ravi shows Pip Sal's old phone, including the supposed confession sent before his death, and Pip immediately notices that it doesn't look like his other texts. This becomes the first major crack in the official story. As Pip digs further, she discovers messages between Sal and Andy that reveal that they had been arguing shortly before she disappeared, contradicting the widely believed narrative of their perfect relationship. Episode 2. Pip continues her investigation by interviewing people who knew Andy, starting with her close friends, but quickly realizes that everyone's version of events don't quite line up. While Andy's best friend Emma insists that Andy and Sal had a perfect relationship, Pip already knows from Sal's messages that they had been arguing, suggesting that even Andy's closest friends didn't know the full truth about her life. As Pip digs deeper, she learns from Andy's other friend, Nat, that Andy had a much more complicated personal life than people realized, hinting that she had multiple relationships and attracted the wrong kind of attention. This leads to the major discovery that Andy may have been involved with a secret older guy, introducing a completely new suspect and motive into the case. Pip also finds out from Ravi that Nat's nudes were leaked a bit before Andy's death, and finds out that the guy who warned Pip about being nosy at the Hastings party is Nat's brother Dan, a cop. Later, while camping with her friends for Kara's birthday, Pip is stalked by someone in the woods and finds a note under her pillow warning her to stop digging, confirming that someone is actively trying to keep the truth hidden. In the end, Pip and Ravi confront Nat once again, finding out that she stopped hanging out with Andy because she'd changed when she started hanging out with Max Hastings. Pip returns to confront Max, finding a scandalous photo of Andy in his room, to which he claims he found in a classroom. He also reveals that Andy sold drugs at underground calamity parties and he was a customer. He suggests that Sal must have found out about this, and that's what the argument was about. Episode 3. Determined to follow the drug lead, Pip attends one of these parties herself, entering a much more dangerous world than she anticipated. At the party, Pip tracks down a dealer named Howie, who confirms that Andy worked for him and was involved in distributing drugs, using a burner phone and a hidden stash in her toy bunny to avoid suspicion. This revelation completely changes Pip's understanding of who Andy was, showing that she had been living a double life that no one in town fully knew about. Pip finds herself in a dangerous situation where a boy at the party becomes aggressive, forcing her to confront the real risks of her investigation. Shaken, she leaves the party and later lies to Ravi about how serious things got. But it's clear that the case is no longer an academic project, it's putting her in real danger. Shortly after, Pip receives another threatening message, making it clear that someone is watching her closely and wants her to stop. Combined with Andy's sister Becca Bell's warning that the truth might do more harm than good, Pip begins to question how far she should go, but ultimately decides to keep on investigating. In the end, she sneaks into the Bell house and finds the toy bunny that holds the drugs, nearly escaping being caught by Dan. Episode 4. Inside the toy bunny, along with the drugs, Pip and Ravi find a list of buyers, revealing that Andy had been keeping records of the people she was dealing with, including TT, who bought roofies. Following this lead, Pip traces the paper to a hotel where Andy had been secretly meeting someone under fake names, confirming she had been involved in a hidden relationship, and giving Pip a number that potentially belongs to the secret older guy. As Pip investigates further, she briefly begins to suspect her own stepfather after finding his name in the hotel records, forcing her to confront the idea that even people she trusts could be hiding secrets. However, this suspicion is ultimately resolved by her mother. Later, Pip's belief in Sal's innocence is shaken when she watches footage of his police interrogation, where he appears angry and unstable. Combined with the revelation that he lied about not arguing with Andy, Pip begins to doubt everything she thought she knew, leading to a major fallout with Ravi, who's hurt by her uncertainty. However, Pip quickly uncovers a critical piece of evidence that changes everything. Naomi gives Pip access to her computer, where she finds Max's secret Instagram with a photo that proves that Sal was with them at 12:06, and his friends lied about him leaving at 10:30 p.m. This revelation basically proves that Sal's innocent, and that the original case was built on a false testimony. This episode ends with Pip confronting Naomi, who admits they lied for a reason, setting up a major turning point in the investigation and bringing Pip one step closer to uncovering the truth. Episode 5. The episode begins with Naomi finally telling Pip the truth about why she, Max, and Jake lied to the police about Sal's alibi. The night of Andy's disappearance, Sal actually stayed with them much later than they claimed, and he was telling the truth about leaving at 12:15. But they covered it up because they were involved in a hit and run a few months earlier, but Max called someone to cover it up. Someone found out about the accident and blackmailed them into changing their statements, which ultimately helped frame Sal. Before Pip can fully process this, Max interrupts and tries to stop Naomi from talking, and Pip realizes that exposing the truth would destroy Naomi's life. So she later promises Kara that she'll try to find another way to prove Sal's innocence without revealing the accident. Determined to force the killer into making a move, Pip posts a video online claiming the police got the case wrong. She begins receiving threats, confirming that someone is watching her investigation closely. That threat becomes real when her dog Barney goes missing and is later found dead, clearly killed as a warning to her. Devastated, but more determined than ever, Pip goes to the police and confronts Dan, who admits he had an inappropriate relationship with Andy when she was younger. He reveals that Max used this secret to blackmail him into helping cover up the hit and run, adding another layer to this web of lies surrounding the case. As Pip continues digging, she uncovers a major breakthrough. She gets a call from the secret older guy, and it's Naomi, using her father Elliot's phone. Following this lead, she tracks him to his old family home and confronts him. Elliot admits they had a relationship and reveals that on the night Andy disappeared, she came to him demanding money and threatening to expose him. During the argument, he pushes her, causing her to hit her head, but insists that she was still alive when she left. Just as Pip starts to piece things together, she hears a noise and follows it to the attic, where Elliot has been keeping someone locked away. Inside, she finds a girl, but it's not Andy, leaving Pip with more questions than answers as the episode ends. Episode 6. The final episode begins with the girl in the attic, Isla, explaining how Elliot found her as a runaway and offered to help her, only to later trap her after confessing that he had killed someone. Through her story, it's revealed that Elliot murdered Sal and framed him for Andy's death in order to protect himself if the truth about his relationship with Andy, or Naomi's secret, began to surface. His arrest finally clears Sal's name, bringing a long overdue closure to Ravi and his family. In the aftermath, Pip struggles with everything she's uncovered, especially the damage it's caused to the people around her, specifically her best friend Kara. While Elliot is responsible for Sal's death, Pip realizes something still doesn't add up. He wasn't responsible for the text she received, or for killing her dog, meaning someone else is still hiding the truth about what really happened to Andy. Returning to the case, Pip learns that on the night Andy disappeared, she had been planning to leave town and was desperate for money. Elliot reveals that Andy had been afraid of someone, and this leads Pip to suspect her father, Jason Bell, after learning he was near the woods that night. However, his alibi checks out, forcing Pip to dig deeper. As she revisits the evidence, Pip connects a crucial thread. Andy had been dealing drugs, and Max Hastings, aka TT, which were the initials on his secret Instagram, had used those drugs to assault Becca Bell at a party. When Pip confronts Max, he denies wrongdoing, but it pushes Pip towards the final piece of the puzzle. Pip realizes that after her confrontation with Elliot, Andy went home already injured, where she got in a fight with Becca. During the argument, Becca pushed her, causing a fatal injury. When confronted, Becca confesses, explaining that not only did Andy refuse to help her get justice, because she'd get in trouble for selling Max the drugs, but she was also running away from their toxic dad, leaving Becca behind. Overcome with panic and guilt, Becca covered up the death. Instead of turning herself in, Becca lures Pip to the caves under the pretense of showing her Andy's body, drugging her and attempting to kill her to keep the secret hidden. As Pip weakens, Ravi returns after realizing something is wrong, and with Kara's help, they track Pip down and rescue her just in time. In the end, the full truth is out. Sal is proven innocent, Elliot is exposed as a murderer, and Becca is held accountable. The season closes with Pip finally putting the case behind her, having uncovered the truth that no one else could. With Sal's name cleared and justice served, Pip and Ravi move forward, their relationship finally turning into something more after everything they've been through together. And that was A Good Girl's Guide to Murder Season 1. I started reading this book just before the show dropped, so I did know what happened when watching, but while reading, I had no clue. The show was really well done, and I think it brought justice to the book, which I really liked. It was a good adaptation. I never finished the second book, but I assume the second season will follow it, with her friend Connor's brother Jamie going missing, leading up to the Max Hastings trial. So we will get a continuation to the unresolved issues in season 1, plus an interesting new mystery. I'll definitely tune in, because I think the show will portray the mystery in a more exciting manner. I think my issue with the book was that it was a slow start, and I set it down before it even really got into the mystery. But after rewatching this show to make this video, I am officially excited for a continuation of the story. Comment your opinions on this season and your theories for the future. Like and subscribe for more recaps, reactions, deep dives, and more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.